Hey everyone.
Yo.
Hello.
Thank you guys for joining this week's episode of Made on BeatStars. We now have a new co-host, the beautiful Jasmine Crowder. Thank you, Jasmine, for joining me.
Of course.
And I'd like to introduce you guys to Tek and Emani. We're going to be showing their song today, $1 Million Trap, and kind of changing the format of the show so that we really can focus on this song because we feel it's extremely important to talk about today. So I appreciate you guys all joining us. It should be a really, really important discussion, and we are so happy to have you guys. Tek, do you want to give us a little bit of an introduction on who you are, your music, where you're from?
Yeah, I go by Tek. Just an abbreviation of my full name. I'm from PG County, Maryland, about 30 minutes out of Washington, D.C. My music, my goal with my music is always to try to give hope and inspire. I know how impactful music can be, whether it's the right way or the wrong way, but I just try to give hope as much as I can, really, because, you know, it's a lot of people that's hopeless, and if my music can just change one person's life, that's like amazing to me for sure.
Yeah, definitely. How did you get started in music? Like, has it always been an interest of yours?
It's always been there, but I wasn't even, not even knowing it. It's just been a part of me. But like me and my cousins used to always like freestyle as kids, like just, whatever. We were trash, but we would have fun. I used to like rap battle in high school, little stuff like that. But I never really like said like, all right, I'm gonna be a rapper. We used to make like little videos in high school too, like on a webcam, like rap videos, me and my homie. And then I wrote my first rap maybe like 17, and it just felt good to get my thoughts on a piece of paper. But still then I wasn't even thinking about, being a rapper or anything like that. But about 4 years ago, I started to take it really serious, and here I am. So,
what made you have that switch from just it being kind of a hobby to being something you wanted to take more seriously?
I think just to bring change, but like I said, it felt good to get my thoughts on a piece of paper.
Mm-hmm.
So, I told my boy, I was like, well, let's just go to the studio and then we'll see how it goes. And the first night I went to the studio, it was horrible. So like, I'm like, bro, I'm gonna go one more time, and if this is trash, then so we went another time, and it came out really dope. And I just started putting out music, so it just felt good, like I said, and it feels even better to get your art out to the world for people to take in and live with. And once you start receiving inspirational messages, and it just it really feels good.
Yeah, I love that kind of music personally, like that has meaning behind it. Like I do love the music that I can just listen to and sounds good, even though I don't even understand what they're saying. But when it comes to like having awareness in the lyrics that you put out, is there like what made you go down that path? Like, is there certain inspirations that you had in music that you
I know you love Outkast.
Oh,
Outkast has so many references in your music.
J. Cole for sure. Kanye West was a big one early on. Kendrick. So when I saw those guys moving and how they were moving and making music, and especially J. Cole, he was probably my biggest influence. And it was like, man, you can really like, change people's lives, so those were my biggest influences for sure. And of course, a bunch of others, Common, Nas, a bunch of others, but Lauryn Hill. Yeah. So, I mean, all of my favorite artists had meaning behind them.
Yeah. They have music that lasts too. That's the best part of like that type of music, and the type of music that you make is like, especially because history repeats itself. So the message usually will always have value. Therefore, your music will still be relevant.
Lives on forever for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What's been like making music with a message? Has there been any like message that you've received from somebody that like listened to your music, or like I don't know, compliments that people have given you that like really meant a lot?
It's been so many. I mean, I receive them weekly, honestly, at this point, and I'm just so grateful for it. But um, there's been a few that really just like I've screenshotted and just saved for myself. Um, there's one I had a line on this song called "Ghetto Birds," and it goes, "I hope you find your peace before you load that piece." So a fan had messaged me that, quotations. I hope you find your peace before you load your piece, and he said you saved my life. So
Wow.
that was like really big for me. And there's been a lot of
Wow.
like, hey, I've been going through so much, and my grandpa just died, and your music is the only thing. I had open heart surgery, and your music really brought me through it. So it's just been so many messages that I'm just so grateful for, that my music can touch people like that.
Yeah,
That's
that's really
wonderful.
gotta feel good, like to have a lasting
Oh
impact on people through something that I know it's not a hobby in a negative way, but it's just something that you enjoy doing. Like it's
yeah,
just a creative
Your
art
passion.
for you. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, your passion. And it's like something that you can so effortlessly do can have like a lifelong impact, like saving somebody's life
I mean,
because
yeah,
of like what you wrote, like pen to paper. That's insane.
it's amazing. I mean, it feels really good, honestly. Those messages mean more than any award can mean, or anything, pretty much.
Yeah. Is that what keeps you going as far as like pushing forward in music? It's just like the fans that listen.
Yeah, the fans that listen, the hope I can inspire in different countries that
Hmm.
their English is not even their first language. That's big. And another big thing for me is like I can send my mom my music. It's not like I gotta, I'm not afraid to send her my songs because there's messages behind it. She can
Yeah.
understand it. So that's a big thing for me too.
Sure. Form of your expression.
Yep,
Yeah.
for sure.
Cool.
That's great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. It means a lot.
Well, Imani, would love to hear from you. Obviously, being the producer of the beat that is on the song that we're about to talk about. So, what about you? Like, he's from PG County. Where are you from? How's kind of this collaboration formed via BeatStars?
I am from Pasadena, California. I'm about 30 minutes away from LA. Um, and we initially met through YouTube. My Beats by Monty YouTube channel. Uh, I have it linked to my. So initially he emailed me and we talked about the Beats $1 Million Trap, and we've been working ever since. And I've loved the work.
That's awesome. It's cool that you're on the East Coast Tech and you're on the West Coast and you guys have found a way to collaborate. Like it's not like back in the day where you had to be in the same studio together. Like you guys are on opposites. And so a little bit more about you, like what got you into music as far as like the production side.
Wow. You know, I uh I've been doing music ever since I was maybe like 4 or 5. My dad had me in piano lessons. I was in choir. Um, but that was just kind of a hobby for me as a pastime until about middle school. I had some friends that said that they wanted to rap. So, I had a computer and I started making these beats. They said they were trash. you know. So I started rapping over my own beats, and that inspired me to get better at production because I wanted to rap over something that I wanted to listen to. So of course there was that, but then also I listened to a lot of A Tribe Called Quest and Tupac and Nas and stuff like that. And the producers that work with them really inspired me to kind of find my own sound.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
And so your dad said you said your dad had you start piano lessons. Was he a musician as well too?
Oh no, he's a teacher.
He's
He's
a
a
teacher.
teacher.
That's incredible.
Yeah. Mhm.
But do you feel like, were all of those songs played in your house when you were growing up? Were you like in a musical family even if they weren't musical?
Well, my dad wasn't very musical, but he played stuff like Prince and
Mm,
Shaka Khan and stuff like that, and that inspired me. But at the same time, I have a stepfather who's in the music business, and he always had his ear on the buzz, whatever was hot. He's playing Jill Scott, he's playing Amel Leroux and stuff like that, and that's kind of inspired me as well.
Very cool.
I can't forget about that. Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised that you two would link, like hearing Tek, your influences and hearing the music you listened to growing up. It's like, seems like a natural fit, like the sound that you want to create and the sound that you produce. I can see why you guys collaborated on a track together.
Yeah.
So should we get into it? Should we play it? Let's give you guys the track.
Yeah, I want to hear it.
Okay. Let's see. Go. All right. So this is $1 Million Trap by Tek and Emani, produced by Emani.
Yeah. What I could do with $1 million. Yeah. What I could do with what I could do with $1 million. Yeah. What I could do with what I could do with $1 million. Never fall in love with the money if you should know. You get a couple dollars and then you fiending for more. Do anything to get it until you catching a case. Felonies on record, your freedom you can't replace. Patrol the block, arrest a nigga, then come back for seconds. Shoot a nigga, kill a nigga, say it's accidental. At 18, the struggle was real, my pockets broke. Lost in college, pops behind bars, was losing hope. 12 a.m. on YouTube, looking for tight beats. Hoping that I find a sound to excite me. I write until my hands go numb, my feelings gone. Right until the sun comes up, my anger's gone. What I could do with $1 million. Yeah. Yeah. What I could do with hey. What I could do with $1 million. Yeah. What I could do with what I could do with $1 million. Been on the grind like Wallace, trying to stack our wallets. Got bills to the sky, they couldn't get no higher. I just take my time, then I find my vibe. Whole squad go getters, and we all gon' shine. Fuck your 925. I buy my mama a crib, get my pops a new whip, take my sisters on trips. Yeah, we did what we did, but we made it through hell. I can be anything if they don't throw me in jail. How long will it go? How long will it last? It feel like 3,000 years. And we still outcast. You look me dead in my face, tell me this shit fair. You fucking built those projects, why don't you live there? What I could do with $1 million. Yeah. Hey, what I could do with yeah. What I could do with $1 million. What I could do with what I could do with $1 million. Hey, what I could
Amazing.
Absolutely incredible.
Thank you.
Yeah, great song. I tried to share some of the comments, but people were saying, first of all, fire emoji, so you know what that means a few times in the comments, and that you had a really dope message in there. So the way you guys collaborate on that track was great.
Thank you.
So you mentioned, Emani, that you guys like met on on YouTube, but Tek, like what about that beat, like I guess like inspired you or made you want to choose it? Like was there certain elements, or did it just kind of like click when you heard it and you could see kind of that you could create a good song with it? Like what made you choose that song or that beat?
That beat, it was just so smooth. I mean, like it was super smooth, and it gave me the space to really do whatever I wanted to do with it. That's one thing I love about working with Emani, just the space he gives artists. So just the space on it, and then the vibe of it, it was just like, all right, like I gotta talk about something on this one. So the space, the vibe of it, it just really clicked from the jump.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you can tell, like I said, like I don't know, it was just a really good song and a really, really cool video.
Oh yeah, the video was. I had the video in mind as soon as I wrote the song, so
Hmm.
I'm glad
What
we
came
were able.
first, the song or the beat?
The beat. The beat.
Great.
I found the beat on YouTube. He also had it on his BeatStars page. So I mean, one of the lyrics on there is 12 a.m. on YouTube searching for type beats. So
Yeah.
that was like what I was doing. Right into the sun right into the sun comes up, my anger's gone. So that's what I was doing, like try to deal with my frustrations was searching type beats on YouTube and then writing to them until, and once I found Emani, it was like, all right, it's on. I just like listened to all of his beats and was like, okay. So that's how we got started on it.
Cool.
Was this the first track that you guys collaborated on together?
I think so.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. It was.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's cool. Like this
It
song.
was Dollar Mills and Sunsets.
Yep. And it was that one. So yeah, we've been working ever since, but this one was the first one to definitely just get me.
Yeah. What was it like, Emani, like hearing because obviously you make a beat and you have kind of like, I guess you try and picture artists on it so that you can make sure there's enough space, but like hearing the completed song, especially considering the message, what was that like for you?
I was surprised, as mellow as it was. I didn't expect that subject matter, but I loved it. I loved it. It worked. I liked this flow. I liked what he was talking about. It was an unexpected surprise, but I appreciated how it turned out.
Yeah, that's really awesome.
Cool.
So Emani, I would love to hear like a little bit like how the beat was made. Like, what are some like really cool elements or instruments that you included on that track specifically?
So usually when I start working on stuff from scratch, I pull up the electric keyboard and I start cranking out chords. So you know what? I think this is one of the ones. I was probably sitting in the shower and I had this melody in my mind and I started so I got in front of this keyboard and I started playing things out and I was like, okay. And then once I got the electric piano chords down, then I started messing around with the vibraphone. And I throw this vocal chop that I made in there, and that was pretty much it. And then from there, it was drums, and just kind of came together. It was copacetic. It was easy.
Cool.
Very
That's
cool.
awesome. Yeah.
That's how I hear most of his beats. Honestly, like he just did it with like such ease and no effort. I don't even know his process, but it just feels that way when I hear his beats.
Yeah, it definitely is very smooth, which to your point, Emani, it's like pretty interesting that like you had such a strong message with a beat that like normally would, I don't know, it just makes you feel kind of chill. Like when I listen to that, like I would never have even thought to take it that direction.
For sure.
Thanks.
What Tek, like within that, I feel like we really want to deep dive. What was it in that beat that just still kind of immediately said, this is going to be how this song will play out? Like, is there any more background you can give on that aspect?
I think the beginning vibe of it and the melodies I hear was kind of like creepy in a sense. It was kind of like dark to me. So I was like, okay, what subject can I speak on that's dark? And, in reality, this subject is very dark. So,
absolutely.
And the hook just gave it, I came up with the hook first and just went on from there. So it was the dark, creepy kind of tone of it that really gave me the subject to go with.
Yeah. I guess I definitely could see that too. That's what's the fun thing about, like, I'm sure, Emani, for you making a beat is like every artist will hear something different and probably take it in a different direction. So it's interesting that that's kind of how you interpreted the beat. But speaking of like inspiring the message, obviously, like not only visually looking at the music video, which we can talk a little bit more about later, like what are, I guess, like some of your favorite lyrics? Like what was the main message that you were trying to get across when you wrote that song? Like I just would love, I guess, kind of a more in-depth breakdown of the verbal art you created.
Okay. Some of my favorite lyrics. I mean, one of the ones that definitely hit home is just patrol the block, arrest a brother, then come back for seconds. Shoot a brother, kill a brother, say it's accidental. And we're going through that right now. It's always a black man getting killed, and it's always, oh, that was accidental. It wasn't intentional. So that really hit me. Just writing that and then just hearing it back is just like, man, it's just always accidental. So they say, even if you have video footage of it clearly being intentional, you know. So that was definitely one of my favorite lyrics on the song, and that was very deep to me. I really felt that one.
Yeah, that's one of the kind of like we were talking about, like music with a message. It's timeless. Like, you
Yeah.
know, this isn't a song that you created yesterday, yet
Nope.
it's still relevant, if not more,
Mhm.
even today. Does it make you nervous though? Like, obviously, when it comes to talking about racial issues, specifically being Black and talking about issues that we face in America, like, does it ever make you like, I guess, nervous? Because sometimes people in music can be kind of PC
Mhm.
with wanting to appeal to the fans and not offend anybody. Like, does that ever come as a concern when you're making music?
Not at all. That's like the furthest thought from my head. I
Good,
think
good.
especially like as musicians, I mean the platform you have, you can like just give a message to so many people and like just inspire others, and not just inspire, just educate others of what's going on. Some people might not even, sadly, they might not even know what's going on in the world. They might not know racism is still alive and whatnot. But if you can just, you know, educate others, and the best form I think is through music. That's how most people get educated, honestly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely do. And it's nice to have music too that has that message that you can relate to with what's going on in the world. You know, it's kind of like a
Mhm.
soundtrack to the time.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah. Still relevant today. Like you said, I didn't write that song yesterday. So sadly, but unfortunately, it is still very relevant.
Mm-hmm.
I
When you
find
get
it interesting. Sorry, go ahead, Jasmine.
Oh, I was just going to ask though, do you ever get like pushback from people who listen to your music? Because there are the people who are going to want to fight
Mhm.
against equality in some ways. Do you get those messages, or is your fan base kind of built around people who support the issues and
Yeah.
that you talk about?
It's kind of funny. I don't think I've ever gotten pushback on this subject. I mean, I think I got a super dope fan base, and they all just super dope, and they understand, but they just support, honestly. I've never gotten pushback. And honestly, if I did, I mean, it probably just goes in one ear and out the other, honestly. But I don't think I have. My fans are super dope. Sure.
Cool.
I find it really cool that in the song too, it is obviously your personal experience. Um, but at the same time, you kind of draw it back with the hook of what I could do with a million.
Hmm.
And I think almost anybody could relate to that messaging.
Yep.
And it's incredible, like, because we can all understand together that same thing. And very personal to hear your side of what you would do with it. And, it's incredible to see, the
Yeah.
difference between that and all of us.
Yeah. So that's what I wanted to do with the hook, is just make sure everyone can relate,
Mm-hmm.
and everyone can grab their own message from it. That's why even in the video, I had the cop like grab money and say what I could do with
Mm-hmm.
a million. Um, it kind of goes deeper though. It's kind of like how it's embedded in us. Like that magic number is always a million. Like when we're younger, I'm gonna make a million. Even young adults, I'm gonna make a million. That's kind of just embedded in us by society. So I mean, that's why the opening line is never fall in love with the money. If you should know, you get a couple dollars and then you fiending for more. Do anything to get it until you catch in a case. felonies on record, your freedom you can't replace. So it's kind of like they tell us, like, go get 1 million, do anything you can to make that 1 million, and then you get a felony, you know, and then your freedom is pretty much done. But what I'll do with 1 million, so that's kind of what I was saying, but it really wasn't my intention. It was kind of saying like what they embed in us and how it's always $1 million chase. That's why the song is titled $1 Million Trap.
Mm-hmm.
That's wow. Yeah.
Yeah. Very,
cool
very deep.
yeah, and how you can relate it to, like you said, like you had the cop holding money, like, and when you think about like the characters in the music video, clearly they're on two opposing sides.
Yep.
Understandably so, but there is one thing that, well, multiple, of course, but one other thing that they have in common outside of the fact that they're both human, being that, you know, sometimes money can corrupt people or influence them in the wrong way. So it's like, even though you have a message that's focusing on X, everybody can kind of be a part and relate to the song because your chorus kind of finds something that is unison for everybody.
Yep, which is money, and you know how that goes.
Yeah. So Emani, like for you, like I guess the message, like when you hear it back as also not only the producer but a music listener as well, like is there any lyrics that stand out to you, or like what is it about the message of this song that you really appreciated?
You know what? The music that I came up on had a balance. You know, you had party music, then you had music with messaging, and it'd be on the same album. You know, you had I Get Around on the same album as you know, Holla If You Hear Me. You know what I mean? So hearing J Tek make music where you know, where he had a message, it evened out the music landscape for me. The music that I was hearing and the music that I would get back from the artists I was working with, it would tend to be on a lighter side, more and more lighthearted. So hearing music with a message, I felt better about it. You know, I felt like I was contributing to the musical landscape that I want to see. You know?
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Cool. Yeah, it definitely takes like both parts. Like you obviously can make the beat. It's at that point in the artist's hands to take it from there and do something with it. Tek, is there any other, like, I mean, you've already dropped like 5 or 6 different lines that have a lot more. And that's my favorite. Like, that's why I'm glad to be on this show with you, Aaron, to like really like the music that's created on BeatStars and talk to you guys about like how it was made and like the lyrical breakdown. Cause I'll tell you, like sometimes lyrics go over my head. I'm like, it sounds good and I can catch the overall message, but it's like bar for bar. I don't even realize like how great the music that's created, you know, through this platform is. So is there another like portion of the song or
I'd love
bar?
if you could take us through the rest of the song too, even.
Yeah.
Okay.
Behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes. So just pick out some lines that you know really stuck with me. Another one is you look me dead in the face and tell me this fair. You built those projects. Why don't you live there? So we know the projects is a system, of course, and we know what goes on with it's pretty much a setup, but the line that I like is you look me dead in the face and tell me this is fair. I mean, we're going through that right now. I'm reading comments on social media and people like, oh no, that's not the case. You know, there's no such thing as racism anymore. Everyone's on an even playing field. And it's like, how can you look me dead in my face and tell me this is fair? So that line, I kind of said that with anger because it does frustrate me. It frustrates me to this day. You know, sometimes I gotta just log out of social media because just people and their comments. But I don't get how someone can, you know, look someone in the face and say, you know, what we're going through right now is fair. So that was definitely another line that really stuck with me. Still with me to this day.
I have to say that's the one that stood out to me the most.
So thank you.
Yeah.
It's
Let's
funny that you say that you were like expressing your frustration because you like seem so calm. Your demeanor seems so
Yeah.
Yes,
calm. Like,
that's so
you
true.
can express it through music, like where your frustrations are, which is great. Like that's one thing I love about creative arts is like you don't have to go out and do something like, I don't know, violent
Yeah.
accidentally in order to express like the deep amount of frustration you're feeling. You can use music, or for you, Imani, production, to like express how you feel and let it come out that way. And usually that has a longer lasting impact than something in the moment.
Yep, for sure. Music is definitely the way I express myself, and like you said, I'm just very chill and like, I stay like level headed, but in music I can really like go deep and express how I really feel. For
For
sure.
sure.
For sure. I have to ask, what was it like filming the video and getting that set up? Did you feel like, was it traumatizing to have to like be in that situation, have to pretend to be held down and, it, just even playing it out, how did
Yeah.
it feel?
It felt a certain way because, I mean, my pops went through it. So, um, it's crazy. It just felt so real. Like
Mm,
the dude that played the cop is one of my best friends,
wow.
but afterwards I'm like, we were kind of like looking at each other kind of like awkwardly. I'm like, I was telling my boy, I'm like, bro, that kind of hurt, man. You did it kind of like, um, it was like we really wanted to make it look like reality, but it really just like gives you like some thought, just like, man, it's like very real. It was very, very real, even though it's a music video. It's crazy. The other day, my sister shared it, and she said it hurts seeing my brother like this, even though I know it's a music video, because it's like it can happen, to any of us. So that's just how it felt. Just like, man, it was kind of heavy on us after the video. Honestly, we were just kind of like, wasn't much laughter or happiness that the video was over with. It's kind of like, man. So it put it into perspective for my friend as well, who's Caucasian. Like I said, he's one of my best friends. But just him having to play a cop and hold me down and, hold my neck down, it was really heavy.
Yeah.
Really heavy.
What like considering the fact that of course like the chorus talks about $1 million, but you have these segments in the song that have deeper meaning and kind of talk about, I guess in some ways, like racial issues. Like what made you want to go with that specifically, like that cop theme and kind of like the police brutality theme, despite the fact that there were so many other kind of messages that you talked about?
I think just the like you said, the verse one was really what made me want to continue with the song and make sure I got a video out. So that was pretty much the overall message. Was just like, all right, we gotta like show people like the reality of it. So that was pretty much it, just the overall message, and just wanting to make people, I think people really understand things more visually. So if I just wrote that song and just did a regular video, I don't know if we would even be talking about it, I think the video catches the attention and then brings in the listener to like, all right, what is he saying to go with this video? And vice versa. If I did a video like that and I was rapping about being in the club, it wouldn't connect. It's like, what is, so I think it just had to connect, and I had to make sure to draw in listeners to get the overall message of it.
Yeah. No, yeah, it is obviously a very powerful visual, and in some ways, like probably one of the most, when you think about the news, like on the forefront, racial injustices, like it's one of the easiest ways that it's exemplified. So it's great that you even had the, I guess, like mental strength to do that. Cause like Aaron said, like that's gotta feel traumatizing, even though it was one of your best friends doing it, like to kind of firsthand go through, or I guess in some ways, like
go through the
that.
movement, the actions of it.
Yeah.
It was very hard, honestly. It was, and that was probably the video I wanted to get over with the quickest. I'm just like, let's just get it over with, you know. It was tough for sure. It definitely brought out a lot of emotions.
Emani, I was going to ask, like, what was it like for you watching the video? Like, you already knew that it obviously had this powerful message, but seeing like the visuals with it, what was that like to know that, you know, it started with a beat that you had created?
You know what? I enjoyed hearing it. Seeing the video, it was a bit rough too. It was like, yo, I've seen this. You know what I mean? So hearing the music accompany it, it was an experience, you know, to say the least.
Yeah. I guess that's the easiest way to put it, like an experience watching that video. And it's a really almost like surface level way, like for people outside of that experience and outside of the Black community to kind of see to some degree and like really and hear firsthand, because a lot of times with police brutality situations, you don't get to hear from the people, you know, and you're kind of speaking that message in some ways for them and for our community on what those experiences are like, and allowing, again, like your fans, like to, I guess, just like listen to your music and educate them through music, you know?
For sure. Through music and the visuals. Yeah, for sure.
It's powerful.
It is.
On a really visceral level.
Yeah.
I certainly feel like watching the video, you know, you do see your facial expressions and going through it. It really puts you in the mindset of you know, and at least that's where I feel, you know. I don't feel like I can relate to the cop, and it's tough. It's hard to see somebody. I mean, Tek, we've met before, you know, to see somebody you've met even laying down like that is, I think about my friends whose siblings and parents they worry about. Being in that position is so hard.
Yeah, and it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't fake emotions. Like, I mean, it really hurt physically and mentally. You know, I had bruises on my wrist from the cuffs just because we wanted to make it just look so real. So my facial expression was like, yo, this really hurts. So,
and you're just pretending. I can't, you know, imagining what that actually is like.
Oh yeah, I mean, sadly, we just saw it. Someone screaming, "I can't breathe," you know, over and over. That's the reality for sure. Like you said, mine is a music video, but we just saw it, you know, on footage. Everyone got to see it. And that's just so unfortunate and sad, and I hope we receive justice for George Floyd.
Yeah. Absolutely. What does that feel like though for you to, obviously police brutality is nothing new, but for you to kind of have like a video that's very similar to, again, like what we're seeing on camera, like does it feel surreal in some senses? Like, is it frustrating that you made this however long ago and you're still seeing kind of in some ways the same thing happen? Like, what does it feel like to, especially to having gone through it and making your music video and like kind of in some ways experiencing what those moments are like? Did it make you even more empathetic to what you see when you're watching it on the news?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it's just so frustrating. I mean, beyond words, honestly, that it's 2020 and this is still what we're going through. I shot the video 2 years ago and it's still just, hits home. Yeah, we shot that 2018 around there. So it's just so surreal, like you said, and just so frustrating that it's 2020 and, you know, just getting pulled over for a non-violent crime or just anything that it can just happen. So, and just watching him, you know, it's tough. It is. It's very frustrating, you know, that we've been fighting for change for so long. And we got to keep fighting.
Definitely. How have Emani, I'll ask you first and then Tek you, like with everything going on in the world, how has music kind of been your escape through this period, or kind of your release with everything that you're feeling?
You know, to be honest, I haven't made music in a while. I haven't been able to
Mm.
escape. I've been on this 24-hour news cycle, and I've been seeing my friends go through it. And I've been worried about my family out protesting. But
Wow.
the saving grace is that I've been able to uh, convince people to donate to these causes through my music. And I've been able to have some kind of platform. That makes me feel better about being in the world and knowing that all this stuff is going on.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I can imagine that it can be kind of hard, not only time wise, because like you said, it's hard to get out of your phone right now, but then
Mhm.
also to find
Yeah.
inspiration in a time where like you're probably not feeling very inspired by everything that you're seeing.
And then especially as a producer, you know, we sit in front of our computers 24 hours a day. So
Hard to
yeah,
escape.
it's very.
Yeah. What about you, Tech? Like, how have you like you obviously write,
Mhm.
but outside of that, how have you kind of expressed everything that you're feeling musically? Obviously, this is nothing new for you, but
Yeah.
as it relates to everything going on right now, like, what's been your way that you can express how you're feeling?
Honestly, I'm in the same boat. I haven't really been able to create, honestly. I've been so frustrated and just trying to, just deal with everything that's going on. But listening to music, I've been listening to some Kendrick and, just I'm glad that I've put out music that people can go back and listen to and grab inspiration from. I don't have to
Mhm.
like hurry up and jot something down to go with the times. It's created and that's just it feels good to me. But just like I'm just happy to have this platform to be able to speak on what's going on for my fans that's not in this country. They're whether they're in South Africa or Europe, wherever they are, just to be able to know what's going on through me, it feels really good to be able to educate and give people insight on what's going on here.
Yeah, to elevate that message through music.
Yep,
Like you
exactly.
said, that transforms kind of like these physical barriers. Like it's an easy way. People love music, so your fans can listen to it. And then like I can only imagine like really listening to the lyrics, but then watching the video, like it probably sparks questions in their mind, like, wait, what's he talking about? Like,
Hmm.
and
This
you
is
know what
his
door,
experience.
yeah, yeah, what door that can open too for them. So it's really great that you guys together have like put out this song that who knows how many conversations have been sparked because of it.
Yep, yep.
Absolutely.
That's amazing for sure.
And thank you guys for putting in the hard work of
Oh
doing that
yeah,
and
for
creating this
sure.
art.
It's important. We need it. We need it, especially
Absolutely.
in these times.
Yeah. Yeah, it was nice. Like it's crazy that you said you filmed it 2 years ago because like you said, it's just so relevant. So
Yeah.
So
I
relevant.
said it means so much to have music that like even in this time, like you said, like you listening to Kendrick, like sometimes you need to find like a little bit of inspiration and
Yep.
hope and relief from music, and like you guys put that out. Like again, not
Mhm.
only just expressing yourself and educating people through your art, but also providing inspiration as well.
Yeah, I've received countless messages sent, over the past week, just like, yo, this song came out 2 years ago and it's finally clicking for me. So it's like, wow,
Wow.
okay. So I guess people loved it, but there's some people that's like, I really get it now. I mean, I've
Mm.
received a lot of messages. It's like, yo, I get what you were saying in this song now. So, like I said 2 years ago, and it's just for some people just now clicking. And there's been previous incidents, but this one really, really connected with a lot of people.
Cool. What does that like, especially you having wrote the message
Hmm.
2 years ago or filmed the video, and for people to have it click just now, like does that feel like to you? Is it frustrating that it took so long, or is it nice that like they're finally getting it? Like what does it feel like though to kind of get those messages like, oh man, okay, I finally get it. Now I get the message that you're trying to receive.
No, it wasn't frustrating at all. Because the song had connected, but I guess on a deeper level now, people are like just wowed and just like it just hit them on a different level. And I'm glad. I don't care how many years it took. I mean, as long as it made that impact, and people really feel the pain of it and the reality of it, that's all that matters, honestly. So I felt blessed to, and I started having conversations with the fans that PM me that, just like, yo, So I mean, that I'm blessed to have that platform, like I said.
Yeah, that's cool. To be able to open that door. And it's nice that you're willing to have those conversations with people.
Oh, yeah.
Most people, first of all, most people can't even reach artists they listen to.
Yeah.
But then to have you like not only talk about your message, but be really willing to educate people on the messages you're talking about, like that just shows the passion that you have for telling your story and for telling other people's story. And like I said, like that kind of music, it's gonna keep going further and further, and it's gonna be timeless. And I'm sure there's many other tracks where it's like at some point it's gonna click, for the people listening, and they're gonna go back and be like, Tek told me so.
Yeah.
For sure.
I actually just learned yesterday that George Floyd was also a rapper and had a few songs out about police brutality. So it's so interesting. So if you guys should all check that out and see, the music that he put out. It's very interesting to hear.
Man,
and
like,
that came out in the 90s. So to see that evolve in this way is just really unfortunate.
In 2020. It's insane.
Yeah.
Wow, that's surreal, honestly.
Yeah, artists now and artists back then, but again, history repeats itself, and this is going to be a long fight. So, like having music that's created that speaks to it, like it's not going anywhere. Like I haven't checked out the music, Aaron, yet, but like you said, like listening to it, I'm sure it does feel kind of like surreal almost that like he's kind of preaching the same message of not only what he went through, but what we're all going through right now as the Black community and as a country as a whole. Like these messages are still valuable. That's what I really love the most about timeless music. You know what I mean? It's like it's nice to have something that you can still relate to. Like we talk about, like, Emani, you were talking about some of the music you listened to growing up and like thinking about their musical catalog. Like you can still play that music today. And there's messages and things that they talk about that are relatable to today too.
When it's a real message, it sticks.
Yeah.
Always. Yeah, it's everlasting. Like you said, history will repeat itself, and that's why substance is so important. Sure.
Absolutely. So I'd love to hear what's next for you guys. What you guys are doing musically, what you plan on coming out with in the future, where our viewers can find you guys on social media, and listen to more.
Go ahead, Emani, take the stage.
Oh, you trying to put me in the line of fire? No. No, so I'm working on my project. I've been working on it for 8 years, and I'm finally in the last steps of mixing. I'm aiming to drop that in July or August or so now. Aside from that, I'm working on some compositions for producers to sample. They'll be called the compositions in secondary colors. Drum kits, working with more artists, and just kind of building more organic relationships in the music business.
Beautiful.
That's awesome.
Make sure to reach out when you drop those. We'll be happy to share them.
Yeah.
Oh, I got you. Say less.
It is cool. Like that is what our platform is for. Not only to like help establish these relationships, but for us to be able to share you guys' art and what comes of it, and highlight like amazing artists and producers like you. So definitely, I'm excited to hear. So, Emani, where do they find you on BeatStars, and where do they find you on social?
All right, BeatStars is Beats by Emani, Emani with the E. With social media, the name down there. Where is it? Here we go. Name right there. That's my Instagram name. But if you want to find me on Twitter, you just take the underscore out.
Cool.
Perfect.
And what about you?
Man, what's next? I mean, I dropped my debut full length August 23rd, 2019. So that was a big thing for me. So right now I'm just working on the next project. Just dropped a single not too long ago, produced by Emani, When the Sun Shines. So right now we're just working. I'm doing some features right now. A couple artists from South Africa. So I'm excited about that. And just working, just figuring out my next project and the route I want to go. So I think I got the route, but I don't really want to go in detail yet. But I'm working on the next project.
Can't reveal. Great.
What about social and BeatStars? Where do they find you?
Just j.tek everywhere. Instagram, BeatStars, YouTube, j.tek.
And I've also just put. Sorry, Jasmine.
No, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
I also just put into all of the social chats too, where you guys are watching. If you go to beatstars.world/$1,000,000trap, there's links to both of their BeatStars accounts, the music video, and where you can listen to all of J-Tek's stuff. So definitely check that out, guys.
I was gonna say, well, speaking of that, Aaron, that J-Tek, you use the pro page as an artist. So if any artists are tuned in, I think your website's jtekmusic.com.
Yep.
Definitely check that out, because that's a great way to see how an artist can use a pro page. Obviously, we've seen a lot of producers use it, but he's a great example of how you can still utilize those tools as an artist. So like Aaron said, check out that link, the beatstars.world/$1,000,000trap. And click on both of their profiles and make sure to definitely follow and support. But go to jtekmusic.com so you can see firsthand what that artist pro page looks like.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for joining us in
Thank you guys for having
such an important time with such important music.
Thank you guys for having us and just being able to talk about this message and putting your foot forward and talking about it. There's a lot of platforms that won't do it. So thank you guys for that.
Of course.
We're glad to be on the right side.
Yeah.
So I'd like to close out the show with When the Sun Shines by you both.
Dope.
Cool.
Let's see. Let me just pull it up.
Oh, I thought you were going to rap it.
Next episode. Stay tuned.
Oh.
All right. Just one moment. Thank you, Jasmine. Let me know if you guys can hear it.
Yep.
All we needed was, all we needed was, yeah, lately I've been running circles around my competition. Give it time, most of these rappers, they go missing. But never mind that, I've been minding my business. In the literal sense, counting these digits. Went from dreaming to living, it's real. I got some scars that I don't ever think will heal. Walking wounded, but my soul, it can't be ruined. Traveling time with these flows, I reach the moon. Told my fam, stay strong, our time is soon. One day the sun gon' shine and we gon' bloom. Went from counting our problems to counting paper. Got my eyes on a vision, can't see a hater. I can't trust too many people, I got issues. They try to get close to you and then finesse you. I can't let that happen, I'm in my zone. Nobody offered me help, did it alone. People in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. I can't stop until my whole family on. We never had money, but we had love. Yeah, I guess all we needed was us. I guess all we needed was us. I guess all we needed was us. I talked to God the other day, he said he got me, I'm straight. I thank my mom for sacrifices she made. Was on the bench, I wasn't getting no play. Now every day I'm scoring 30 a game. If nobody got me, just know that I got myself. Some people can't even tell the truth to themselves. I count my blessings every time that I fail. Wrote a letter for my mans, really hope he gets bail. Keep it real, my integrity's not for sale. To get to heaven, you gotta make it through hell. I'm alive and well, I can't complain. I gotta see the sunshine when I'm in rain. Still feel pain for my people that's dead and gone. My only guess is that God needed them home. Standing still every minute, my thoughts roam. My man was making plays off of a flip phone. Searching for answers, I haven't figured it out. My first goal was to buy my mama a house. Same people hitting my line was doubting before. Still zeros in my bank account, just added more. Just added more. Still doubting, just check the score. We putting numbers on the board. Yeah, we struggled but stayed the course.